guys got together yesterday, and this is the first time they've ever looked at most of these songs. I'm sure we really happy.
While Kevin's speaking, that our ears will be open to anything that you have to say, and I just pray that we can listen with our ears and with our hearts. And I pray. Amen.
Thank you for both. Are you guys okay though? You all right?
Yeah.
Y'all got quarantined out?
Yes.
I am so bad.
I mean, I want to see my friends, but I'm okay with this.
I got it so bad, guys. It's terrible. I know my wife's driving my whole family crazy. But I tell you, I'm going to try to keep up with this. Some of this is going to be stuff that really is what we're going through. We're going through a series in Proverbs, and I just wanted you guys to kind of know we're going to continue one of those verses out of there tonight. And you'll kind of get it. We've been talking about things that happen now, decisions that we make right now are things that affect us later. So, I hope you guys are good with this. I did not take apart this whole thing. I usually cut this into little pieces, okay? So some of this is just stuff I wanted to say that y'all weren't going to see, but I didn't take all that apart. So is that cool? Y'all good? All right. I look at this top 10 thing. Have y'all seen, have y'all even seen this site? Y'all been to this? Okay. It's got all the top 10 battles, all the pets, top 10 everything. You just go in there, and I guess they have people vote, and then you kind of do this. This is their site. I got the 10 biggest pet peeves. Y'all want to guess any of these? They made the list. Smacking. Okay. Y'all got any? Squeaky shoes.
Tapping.
You know where Nike's at one point, Nike starts squeaking for some reason. What is it?
It's the new update they had on the shoes.
Is it? You think that's
Yeah,
it?
we downloaded it.
So, number one was people who chew with their mouth open. People who chew with their mouth open. You know, that would have been yours. Number three was about people having bad driving etiquette, people who drive bad. Yes. Okay. All right. If y'all only knew, I moved here from Florida. I could tell y'all some stories. Anyway, number seven was when someone else copies you, when you have that happen, when you come up with this incredible idea, and they're like, oh yeah, I came up with that.
Oh, yeah.
Number 10.
You're like, oh sorry, I didn't say that anyway. So seven, number 10, screaming children, temper tantrums.
Obviously, that's not one of mine.
Never, ever. No, it doesn't bother me, ever.
I have a sister.
Okay. All right, so I found this interesting. Most of the things on this had to do with things that other people do. Are you with me? Are you with me a little bit? This is kind of funny. And there was nothing like when I oversleep or when I do this or when I do this. There was none of those on the whole list. It was all about people saying, oh yeah, you know what bothers me? Something that person does. Something that person does. Nobody listed anything about themselves. I thought that was kind of funny. Nope, there's nobody else. I said, if you and I had time enough to think about it, I think we could come up with a list, right? Could y'all do this? Y'all could come up with other people that, I know y'all could do this because y'all were answering faster than I actually was reading up here earlier. So, chances are good you follow the same pattern. Other people or don't do is usually the things that really kind of hack stuff. So, I want to kind of go there. The bottom line is whether it's chewing, driving, it's copying, anything like that. It says we don't, are you really actually recording this? Okay. I'm sorry, everybody out there. All right, so anyway, I don't have all my stuff. So, the fun is funny to talk about, but then, when this stuff starts to really, really annoy us, it's not really funny anymore. I want to talk about this, and when it's real life stuff, it's just annoying, it just actually hurts us. Is that true? Some of the stuff that people do to us really hurts us sometimes. Amen? I'm kind of there. All right, so it's more personal than it's real life stuff. I'm going to walk around a little bit. Are y'all cool with this? How's this thing work? Y'all good? Y'all remind me to, once we get this video on YouTube, if we just erase the part where I was talking to leave the band. Okay? All right, cool. So, when a friend talks bad about you behind your back, right? Someone hurt you? I want y'all to kind of, when your mom makes a rude or hurtful comment to you, anyway, don't raise your hands, okay? It bothers you, right? When you're supposed, okay, you ready for this? When your supposed friend likes and the guy that you broke up with, or the girl you broke up with, they're like liking all their stuff, and they're like, wow, oh, I hate you. It'd be like you having a best friend, and you broke up with your girlfriend, and your best friend asked them out. It'd be like that. Yeah. Okay, I thought we were friends, right? Okay, so what about this? Your dad, this is your soccer game. There are any of these little things that people do. Teacher gives you a bad grade. I know none of y'all experienced that in the last few days. All right, so your brother makes fun of you, coach yells at you, stuff like that. You know what it feels like to be hurt by other people? Everybody knows that, You already got that part. Okay, cool. As terrible as it is, it's going to happen, right? It's like a done deal. You get hurt by other people. It's been hurt or frustrated by people. It's inevitable. And when it happens, you're left with this decision. What I'm going to do now, here's the decision. These are the two things we're going to talk about tonight. What I'm going to do when somebody really hurts my family, or if somebody hurts me, or they do something like that, how are you going to respond? What are you going to do about that? I know y'all never, ever face any of this stuff, so I know y'all really aren't interested in talking about this, so I'm just going to close on that. No, you really do, don't you? We want to talk about it? Are y'all cool? You good? Okay, chances are you already thought about something. Even just in talking about this, you're like, yeah, you already got something in your mind, don't you? Some of the ideas that we threw out, maybe I didn't mention yours, okay? So this is wild. In that case, some things might have just happened inside of you. Your heart rate might have gone up, okay? Okay. If I mentioned something, you didn't notice this. You got a little bit irritated. You started thinking about all the ways you've been wrong. You felt sorry for yourself, and you wait. No, that's just me. So you started rehearsing your side of the story. You remember? Yeah, I know y'all never do that, right? There's nobody. It's like, now if they say this, I'm gonna say that. Yeah. Oh, that'll do it. Okay. Y'all don't ever do that. I understand. I'm just confessing up here about myself, right? Y'all don't ever go through conflict. No. Okay. All right, cool. So there's something, notice all these things have one thing in common. It's you. Okay? Are you ready? I actually read this off of a script when I'm at the camera. We have the camera like that, and then I have my script right next to the camera, so I don't know if y'all see my eyes switching over on the videos we've been making or not. So, all this stuff, everybody goes through this. So when you get mad or get sad, we focus our attention on ourselves, of course, and the reason is because we want to we don't want to feel bad, we want to make ourselves feel better, right? I'm trying to get where we are. So you spend all this time and you're upset about it, and you're hurt, you're ticked off, and you know that feeling better is the opposite of what happens. If you let it sit there and you talk about it, you want to feel better. The reason you think about it and you're trying to feel better, and the reason you sit there and you let it in your mind, and the opposite happens. Have y'all noticed that? Have you noticed that when you start replaying, you know what? I just thought about how that was wrong too. You just go through that whole story, and you start getting really, really upset with this person. You're trying to make yourself feel better by going over it, going, oh, maybe, this, maybe that. But you end up getting even more upset. Are you with me?
Yes.
All right, cool. Y'all ready? Y'all like Kevin? Okay, I got the intro now. Okay, instead of feeling better, we get more fired up then. And now listen to this, guys. When you and I get to that point, you're ticked off, you're focused on your side of the story only. Watch this. You are in the most dangerous. You're in the most danger of doing something that ultimately is going to make you're going to do something you regret. If you're in that place, right there, you're in the most danger that you are in a long time. Okay, so hang on tight here, and either now or later says we've been talking about all this stuff. I'm going to jump to that. So let's look at God's word. We've been talking about the book of Proverbs. Mostly King Solomon, the wisest guy around. And it's got this huge family, probably faced a lot of moments of annoyance, and stuff like that in his family. Given the fact that he had all this stuff, how to make life better, it's no surprise that he has something to say about patience. We're going to talk about patience, okay? Are y'all cool with that? By the way, don't ever pray for patience, right? Y'all know what happens? Yeah, more stuff happens. Stuff keeps happening. So, anyway, you have never heard someone say they regret practicing patience. Have you ever heard anybody go, man, I wish I wouldn't have been patient? Okay? I wish I would have just flown off the handle. You don't catch people doing that. It's like, man, I said that. That was so stupid. Why did I say that to him? Guys, they're going to remember that forever. Right? No, I know y'all don't ever experience this, okay? I'm just talking about me. Man, it's like, man, I can't believe I said that. You're on the opposite side of it. I've never heard anybody saying, man, I wish I wouldn't have been so patient. Okay? All right? So hang on. I'm going to help y'all guys out. Look at this. It's in Proverbs chapter 19, verse 11. So hang on. A person's wisdom yields patience. Person's wisdom yields patience. It is to one's glory. It's for your best to overlook an offense. If somebody's offended you, this is crazy, man. We don't think this way, okay? But this is God's word. It says, it is to your glory. It's to your best. Now think about this. Sometimes if you overlook an offense, does this say to ignore it? No, it doesn't. Does this say to say what they did was right? No, it doesn't. Okay? Does it say not to confront the person if they wronged you in some way? No, it does not. It does mean this. It means that if there's a point where you can say, you know what? Y'all need to know something, man. I've had situations. I had this wild situation in Florida. You would not believe. And a guy, man, he did people around us wrong. He did me wrong. He walked over people. He stepped on people, and it was just and you know where I ended up with this guy after talking to him. I ended up with, you know what? I'm going to pity him. I'm not going to allow myself to get bitter about this guy. I'm not going to allow myself. I'm going to pity him. I've talked to him about it. You know. But at the end of the day, you know what? He's got issues, man. You know, he's got issues, and I'm going to pray for this guy. Anyway, I'll talk to you about that in a little while. One of the reasons I love Solomon is tough like he is. So even if he says what's challenging, this is really, really hard. So what he's saying in this verse is a person's wisdom is going to lead to patience. Okay, if you're a wise person, okay, it's always going to lead you to having more patience. All right. So y'all going, why in the world is this important? One thing about this, I think some of you guys think it's a wait for your Amazon orders like. This is patience, man. Look there. You know, they said it would be here today. I know it's coming tomorrow. Hey, man, look out. Man, I am just mature now. I am just really getting to her. Okay. And look out, baby, you're in that great truck. Okay. Yep, that is not patience, okay? Waiting for it. I put Stranger Things. I'm sorry. Okay, anyway, I'm waiting for that to finally get on Netflix. Anyway, nobody understands this, man. They don't understand it. Okay, so it's a thing that you have to survive. These three dots blinking on your phone is waiting for someone to text you back. Drives me. Y'all wait, or do y'all like, okay, he's typing. They're typing. I'm waiting. Look how mature I'm growing. I'm so patient. Okay. When's he going to come up? All right. But patience isn't just about waiting on something. It's about what we have. We have to have patience with people. We have to have it. It's not just something that, anyway. In this case, patience is about developing skills, slowing down yourself, respond. It doesn't mean that you ignore. We talked about this. You don't ignore your hurt feelings. You don't allow yourself to be bullied. You don't allow yourself to be pushed around. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about having patience. It doesn't even mean that you continue to be friends with someone who continually puts you down. I'm not talking about that. Okay? So hang on. I'm trying to qualify everything. It just means that you know how to take a minute, how to take a breath, and step away without going into attack mode. Okay? Anybody like totally gone ballistic before? You just like totally lost grip on reality. Okay? And it's like, and after it happens, you're kind of like, your friends are talking to you, and you're going, I did that. it's like you checked out on reality. You know? It's like, what happened to you, man? Where'd you go? Are you back? Okay. Oh, wow, hey, it's my friend again. Okay, I know you. There was somebody else in your body earlier. And okay, so in this way, patience is slowing down your reaction. It's adding a pause. It's taking a breath. Okay, it's just, did your parents ever do this to you when you were younger? Okay, count to 10. Okay, then respond. Okay, they're trying to teach you how to do that. You remember that? Y'all's parents are so good. Aren't they good? Okay, so Solomon connects this idea of a slow down response to wisdom. If you're a slow down response person, you must be a very wise person. You're showing that you have wisdom. Okay? Showing that you have wisdom. And here's what wisdom looks like. Being patient before going into full-on defensive mode and overlooking an offense. And it's also overlooking an offense. Okay? Question. When we're talking about overlooking offense, have you ever done something, you said something, you reacted to something, and then you realize it was something totally different? And you're like, I'm an idiot. It's like, okay, we were snow skiing, and we were on the top of Winter Park, Colorado. Winter Park, Colorado is at 10,000 feet above whatever. Okay, it's way up there, all right? You drive in, and there's a road about the size of a goat trail, okay? And you're driving up it, and one side is like sheer cliff down, and then one side straight up, and there's ice on the road, and there's people passing you. You're in the outside lane next to the railing, and sometimes no railing, and it's snowing, and you're the new guy on the road, okay? Colorado, it's a wild getting up there. We got up there, a guy named Greg was with me skiing this day. We were acting really, really stupid. We were in college, and that's what you do in college. You act really, really stupid. Okay. Right? Yeah, sure. Okay. I'll go with that. So, this Greg's giving this big dissertation, big speech about people in Colorado hate people from Texas. We're in the school of Texas right now. And he's like, they hate people from Texas. I think they really hate people from Texas. And he starts giving all these little, do you remember when we were getting a Coke earlier? You remember that Colorado person? Did you see how they treat them? He's building this case. He's totally building this case. We're skiing down. We stopped on the side of the mountain. It's coming down, and I think it's like a blue run. It was kind of intermediate. And we stopped, and he just wants to continue this conversation. And he's this big old guy, and he's like, no, I can't believe those people in Colorado. This girl skis by us. Okay? Beautiful, beautiful girl. Greg says, hey, what time is it? And because he's looking at me, what time is it? And the girl doesn't answer him. And he's like, hey, what time is it? And he's like, and she keeps on skiing down the mountain. She's just totally ignoring the guy. Okay? And then she's like, hey, Greg's totally going off by the time. He's like, hey, what time is it? And the girl's like, and she just keeps on skiing. And he looks at me, he's like, I told you, man. Did I not tell you? People in Colorado, they hate people from Texas. I'm like, how does she know we're from Texas? Anyway, okay, she stops with her friend. We're sitting there watching her. And he's like, he's just going off. And she stops. Y'all need to know something about Winter Park, Colorado. It has the largest handicap ski school in the nation. She stopped to talk to her friend. She's deaf, man. She didn't hear a word he said, okay? She didn't know anything. She saw some guy flailing his arms like he was mad. But she kept on skiing, man. She was deaf, okay? All right? And I'm like, oh my Lord. And Greg's like, okay, I'm not stupid. Okay. He's making an idiot of himself. Anyway, I know y'all have never done that kind of stuff. And then you didn't. Anyway, that's what I'm talking about. Instead of flying off. So, consider what might be going on in someone else's life. That's all you got to do, man. Okay, that's why you stop. That's when you stop and you take a breather. What you're doing is you're trying to consider what that person's going through. I have a really big problem with people driving in front of me very slow. Okay? I got a problem with that, okay? Yes. Okay. Okay? When I realize it's an elderly person, I've actually changed my whole attitude about it. I stop and I go, man, I hope I can drive when I'm their age. Okay? Okay, dude, that's full blast, baby. They're flying, okay? All right, and when I'm their age, I hope I can do that. And I kind of consider, what the other person's doing. So, in other words, when a friend talks about you behind your back, you consider how they feel insecure about their acceptance right now. Is that a true fact? Have you ever seen another reason that somebody might do that? They're trying to get in with another group because they don't feel good about themselves. True or false? Absolutely true. Okay? All right. I'm just saying, it doesn't mean what they did was right. It does mean that they might have had something else going on that you didn't take time to think about. Okay? I'm not saying some of y'all in your mind going, man, you got issues. You're already screaming at the person. That's why you just said that about me. Okay? Anyway. I know none of y'all do that because I don't. When your mom makes a rude comment, you take into account that she may be under a lot of stress right now. Okay? There's other things going on. Y'all realize all the stuff your parents worry about? Good Lord. They worry about a lot of stuff. You realize they've got to make you prepared to like leave their home one day and support yourself. Okay. All right. And it's no big deal. It's just totally on them. Okay. All right. So it's like, all right, I remember no show. Sorry about that. This guy moved back into the house, and the dad was like, wait a minute. You don't understand. This isn't how this works. Okay. You're not supposed to move back. So, when your dad misses a big event in your life, you think about how he may be overly busy with work, maybe, and pressure right now. I hope I don't ever get that all down. In other words, overlooking events means not just looking past what's happening to you right now, but also looking toward what else might be happening in a person's life. So, let's learn to see yourself part of the story, not the whole story, okay? If you get mad really, really quick, okay, this is part of being wise, okay? What that's saying is if you get mad too quick, you might be thinking about just yourself a little much. See what they're saying? Okay, and hang on to that, okay? So, you're part of the story. Whatever's going on in that person's life, you're part of the story, but you're not the whole story. Okay? There's more going on. That's what they're saying. Use wisdom. Simply put, a wise person can see beyond immediate circumstances. A wise person is going to be able to see beyond what's going on right in front of them, and they're going to be looking at what's going on besides just themselves. I'm part of this person's story right now, and I'm not liking how it's feeling right now, but at the same time, there's something else they may be going through. I got really, really mad at a student, and I'm in Florida when we were there, and the guy quit coming to church, and I put so much into him, and I was like, golly, man. And I had my whole story built up in my head. I talked to him about a month or so after that. Hey, man, I'm sorry I haven't seen you. Yeah. And I was like, trying to be godly, and because I was just really angry with the guy. And he goes, yeah, my mom lost her job. And he said, he had this whole story. She had to get another job. She's been working to support us. Dad's gone. And I'm having to stay home with my little brother and sister and take care of them. I'm going, oh crap. I feel terrible about myself. Because I'm like, you idiot, you didn't look beyond how to affect Kevin's little world. I wasn't thinking about it. You cool? All right. I'm the one confessing around here, right? Anytime you learn to do that, you're well on your way to finding peace and less stress. And not only that, you're going to stay calmer instead of falling apart a little bit more. Wisdom is going to give you patience, guys. It's going to understand the situation gives you patience. And wise people are patient people. Now think about that. With themselves, they're patient with themselves, and they're patient with other people. A wise person, according to this verse, is a person who's learned to be patient with other people. Okay? A little wisdom there, which makes, this is all grown-up talk today. All right? Y'all ready? Which makes the opposite true. Unwise people are impatient people. Okay? Y'all are going to be thinking next time somebody's like, whoa, they're kind of going off. You're like, they're very wise, aren't they? Okay. Not a very wise person. All right. Think about it. I'm not saying judge people, though. All right. Unwise person believes they know best. An unwise person is something. Y'all don't know these people. You don't have anybody in your life right now that says, my way or the highway. Or, you know what? If you don't do it my way, you're doing it wrong because you don't know what you're talking about. All right? Y'all met people like that? Well, the opposite of this verse we talked about is saying those kind of people are very unwise people. All right? All right? So, they're convinced the central character of their story. They're the central character of everybody's story. It's all about us. We used to joke with a guy named Bill that went on a ski trip with us up on the Continental Divide. Yes, I went on the Continental Divide. 14,000 feet, avalanches, and the whole works. We went up there to snow ski. It was fun. It was absolutely crazy. And we got up there, and Bill, we had a guy named Bill. I told you his last name. He lives in Shreveport. I promise you can track him down. There's a lot of people know this guy. It's not the one you're thinking about. I'll say, all right. But this guy, everything he touches turns into money. Steel. He's just incredible at that. And we used to joke with Bill. We'd go, we had an avalanche one day. And so all this snow just totally pummeled, down and totally closed the road and the whole works. You gotta go? All right. Oh, we've got 4 minutes for the adults. Anyway, the whole thing is, Bill, we used to tell, we had this big old avalanche, and everybody was acting like they were Bill, and we were travelers. Hey man, you see that right there? It was all the avalanche. I could see that right there. Okay. It's like one of those people. So, they think they should happen in every circumstance. So, it's wild. They maneuver, they manipulate their way into control. They believe that they know how and when things should happen. All this stuff. The word patient is never used to describe these people. These people that's all about them, they're all wrapped up in themselves. Nobody ever talks about these people as being patient people. They always talk about them wanting their way. So, all this stuff. I'm a cruiser here. Miserable way to live. Unwise, impatient people are people whose world has become all about them. So, boom, boom, boom. Look at it again. Here's the last part of the verse. It is the one's glory to overlook an offense. So that's a pretty big statement. Your glory. It says it's to your glory to consider the other purpose and circumstances. It's to your glory. It makes you look good. It's best for you if you look at the other person's side of the view. Okay, cool. So I got all this stuff. I'm cruising. When you overlook someone's offense, 2 things are true. You look your best. When you overlook, you're at your best. Now think about this, okay? You're looking your best because other people notice that you're being mature, and they notice that you're taking the high road, and they notice that you're not losing your chill. Okay? I totally admire people who can keep cool under serious pressure. I am not there yet. But one day, Lord willing, we'll get there. I totally admire those people because I grew up, when I was your age, I could fly off the handle faster than anybody. I was the quickest handle flyer in the West. I could do it, okay? And I ended up hurting a lot of people in my life. And I really seriously don't want to go back there. All right? I admire people who can do that. You actually are your best. You know why? Because it makes you better. It makes you a stronger version of you. It makes you wiser. It makes you a better person if you do this. So, most of the time, you will feel worse. And you will feel the person's hurt you most. And it's going to damage. It's going to hold on to the offense. It's going to consume your mind. It's going to dominate your emotions. I wanted to talk about all this stuff, but guys, we can talk about it later. This is the craziest little thing. This guy was on a subway, and he wrote a very famous book. His name's Steve, and he's on this subway, and everybody's just totally chilled out because it's been a long day at work. And there's this guy, and he's got kids, right? Sits right next to him. Kids are totally going off, and instantly the whole climate changed. The man sat down next to me and closed his eyes, and he was totally oblivious to these kids. All of his kids were going stupid crazy. Like he didn't have any control over them at all. And the guy says, the children were yelling back and forth, they're throwing things, they're even grabbing people's papers, they're very disturbing. This man's sitting next to me, and he's not doing anything. He's just sitting there with his eyes closed, and he's letting his kids terrorize the whole group. It says this is wild. Somebody needs there. No, it's not going to go. I think I froze up, guys, sorry. Anyway, the rest of the story is that he said, I finally got my courage up to talk to this guy. And this guy has written a book, a nationwide book, so he's like, I was very patient with these kids, and I finally just said something. I said, man, maybe you could do something about your kids, they're trying to be crazy right now. And the guy stopped, it's a true story. The guy stopped, he goes, we just left the hospital about an hour ago. My wife died. And he says, I don't know how to deal with it right now. He goes, they probably are trying to figure out how to deal with it too. I was like, oh man. sometimes crazy stuff in people's lives. Okay? I make a point to try to study the person before I put a judgment sticker on them, because I don't want to step forward and say something. They're in some kind of world that I don't even know about. Maybe the people that are the biggest jerks at your school have the least known story of anybody. Nobody knows anything that goes on at their house. I just noticed when I was your age. Alright? I'm just saying, man, be wise about this. And take time to rethink things. We wanted to play a game, it's already time to go, dude. We have 80 squirt guns. Okay. We tried to think of a game that you guys could play without touching each other. We're going to play this, alright? Hey guys, I love y'all. I'm going to let you roll, and I will talk to you in a while. Let's have prayer. And somebody prayed for my machine to break. I think it was me. Okay, let's pray. Jesus, we love you. Thank you for your grace. I thank you for all the students and what they mean to us. God, thank you for walking with us so far through this pandemic. Jesus, I pray for Caroline today, Caroline Crawford. Jesus, I pray that you give the doctor's wisdom about finding out what's going on with her heart and with her sight. Jesus, I know that her mom's totally freaking out because she can't be with her baby. I pray that you please, God, just touch her body right now. God, we agree together in prayer. Jesus, we love you. We pray that all the people that we have a chance to touch right now, that you give us a way to touch them, Father, with our spirit. And Jesus, I pray that people would see Christ in us, especially right now. Especially going through the troubled times. Especially, God, helps to be the patient people. Helps to be the people that give people a second chance. Helps to be the people that confront people, but confront them in love and understanding. Jesus, we want to be all that you have for us to be. We pray that you please use us in Jesus' name. Amen. Hey, if you got something you want to talk to somebody about, that would be very, very cool. If your parents are already here, that's cool. If they are not here, we might go play a little bit. Are y'all cool with that? You cool? You all right with that? All right, sweet. All right, so we're going to go outside that way. Over this way. A lot of parents. Go check on your parents first. How's that?